It's Mr. Creepshow 9, another 80s slasher review. Curtains, 1983. Behind every curtain, someone is waiting. Something is watching. The ultimate nightmare.
And this next one is boring. There's nothing to talk about. But there's nothing going on in this, and it is so boring. It has no pace to it. And there's no gore. What to speak of.
Well, that pretty much sums it up. It's not a monster. Okay, if you're not familiar with this franchise, let me sum up the basic concept. It's not like a conventional slasher from that era with like a young cast. It's a big-time Hollywood director played by John Vernon, and if you've seen him, even if you've heard his voice, everyone knows his voice. It's the deep, dark voice from Animal House, where he plays the dean of the college of the Belushi film. So anyway, he's the main director, and he's working with this aging Hollywood actress who he gets committed into an insane asylum, and she thinks she's doing it for the role, but he thinks she's insane and he doesn't want her in his movies anymore, so he basically took her there, have her committed. She was there for a few months or whatever until she breaks out, and she finds out that he's holding in his private remote mansion these 5 bimbos are auditioning for this role of the insane character that she was up for. And so then it just kind of like drops all these characters in on you, and they're all just the same W's, and they're not really fleshed out. And so then they do a lot of dark filler scenes when they should be doing more like character background, and it's hard. I don't know. Just like if first impressions, like this is my first time seeing it. Next time it'll be a little bit more enjoyable, but it's hard to really get into it because it's really boring. The only artistic thing to even speak of is the killer wears a hag mask. It's not a supernatural thriller or anything, a slasher or anything. It's a slasher. It's a real world slasher with a human killer who done it. And you can kind of pick out who the killer is based on a few comments that she makes early on, and then because you could tell all the other actresses are just young girls who have no personality or who are too sensitive to be capable of the killings.
But if you like cheesy trash, it's a good one.
No, I can't agree with that. That was totally out of context.
These zombies in this bar.
No, it doesn't have zombies either. There was a total soundbite that was completely off. But to sum it up, so then, okay, time to get into spoilers for people who have seen it and whatnot. Like I was saying, the only good scene is like the figure skater scene to speak of, and the doll's hand, the hand coming out of the snow. You think it's a human body that she's gonna find. That's the really creepy part. And then she pulls out the doll. Dolls, it doesn't take anyone artistic to be artistic. I mean, dolls make every movie or creepier. The creepier the doll, all you have to do is film it and it'll instantly make your movie that much creepier, especially shot on old school 15mm, 16mm type of film back then where it comes out dark. And I was saying to myself the whole time, if this was like shot on digitally modern nowadays, it would just look terrible. The movie would just be forgotten and terrible. But it came out in the era of slashers and it got a good poster. And so then the ending comes, and this is where I'm going to talk spoilers, so you haven't seen it, go and check out something else.
Of a vial of a demonic being, which...
You can check out the movie on YouTube, then come back for the ending of the spoiler review. But I give it a D- overall. So the bodies end up piling up. They don't like pace out the deaths that well. It's just like 45 minutes in, and then all the rest in the last 20 minutes. You know, that type of thing. And so Samantha Eggar's character, who's the woman who played the villain, the mother in The Brood. She's a tremendous actress. She ends up killing the director because obviously he was slept with another girl and she wasn't going to get the role. But she isn't the killer. The killer ends up being the girl who says the one-liners of how she'd do anything, and since she killed the other girl killed the director, that pisses her off, and she ends up killing, obviously, Samantha in the kitchen because there isn't going to be any role. She did all those killings for nothing. So you're like, okay, I kind of get it, but it's still just terrible. The story isn't good enough. If you could relate if you're a young actress and you can relate to this situation, then yeah, watch it, and I'm sure you already love it. And the only reason why you love it otherwise is if for nostalgia reasons, if you grew up watching it or whatnot. So anyway, D-. This was JBM from Mr. Creepshow 9. Click on the channel for other 80s slasher reviews. Thanks for watching. I'm out.